There's a darker side to being popular that almost nobody talks about. Having a huge friend group doesn't always mean you're doing life right. Sometimes it means something else entirely. Psychologists studying highly social people found something unexpected. The same traits that make someone popular can also be warning signs. Not always, but often enough that researchers took notice. Today we're breaking down 5 traits linked to people with large friend circles. Traits that aren't always as positive as they look. Stick around, because trait 4 is the one therapists say quietly damages people the most, and almost no one notices it happening to themselves. Let's start with trait 1. They struggle to be alone. People with constant social circles often feel anxious in silence. Being by themselves doesn't feel peaceful. It feels empty. Psychologists call this solitude avoidance, and it's linked to a deep discomfort with one's own thoughts. The busier their social calendar, the less time they spend actually knowing themselves. Trait 2. They say yes when they mean no. Having lots of friends often comes with a hidden cost, constantly agreeing to plans, favors, and requests just to keep the peace. Over time, this builds quiet resentment. Studies on people-pleasing show it's one of the biggest predictors of chronic stress and burnout. Here's a question worth sitting with. If having more friends causes this much strain, why do people keep chasing it? The answer is more revealing than you'd expect, and we'll get there soon. Trait 3. Their identity depends on approval. Popular people often build self-worth around how others see them. A cancelled plan or a cold reply can spiral into hours of overthinking. Psychologists call this external validation dependency. It means their sense of value isn't coming from inside. It's borrowed from everyone around them. Trait 4. They avoid deep, uncomfortable conversations. This is the one therapists warn about most. With so many surface-level friendships to maintain, there's rarely time or emotional safety for real vulnerability. So conflicts get avoided, feelings get buried, and loneliness creeps in, even in a room full of people who supposedly care. Now here's the twist nobody expects. Trait 5. They often can't tell who their real friends are. When you're surrounded by dozens of people, it becomes almost impossible to know who actually shows up when things fall apart. Research on social circles found that most people can only maintain about 5 truly close relationships, no matter how many hundreds of contacts they have. Everyone else is just noise. So here's the twist. A large friend group can look like success from the outside, while quietly hiding disconnection on the inside. More people doesn't always mean more support. Sometimes it just means more performing. And that brings us back to the question we asked earlier. Why do people keep chasing bigger social circles, even when it costs them peace? Because our brains are wired to associate belonging with safety. But belonging to a crowd and being truly known are not the same thing. One fills a room. The other fills a life. Maybe the real problem was never about having too many friends. Maybe it's about mistaking attention for connection and noise for meaning. So ask yourself this. Out of everyone around you, how many people actually know what's going on in your life right now? Not the version you post, the real one. If this made you rethink your own circle, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes realizing the truth about your friendships is the first step toward finding the ones that actually matter.